Here we are on the doorstep of greatness, of the announcement of the biggest shill for the deep state that 2024 is ever going to see. I can't even keep up this charade for that long, okay? Nikki Haley going to run and get totally embarrassed because politics, as of right now, has become a blood sport. And is she fully equipped for this? I don't know, man. She does have some pretty powerful backers. Like, oh, I don't know. How about the darling over there in the neocon sphere, Ben Shapiro? And instead of me just saying that, oh, yeah, no, Ben Shapiro's got her back, okay, making any allusions or anything like that before we get into the announcement of the announcement itself, I'll just go ahead and let a little Benny boy just tell you how he personally feels about Nikki Haley.
Hey, and welcome. This is the Ben Shapiro Show Sunday Special, and I am super excited to get to our guest today, my spirit animal, former U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley. We'll start that interview in just a second, but first.
I'll get you there. You send you over to Birch Gold. I will never, ever not take the opportunity to play that clip. I just love it over and over again. And people are constantly shocked. It's like, oh, Ben Shapiro said that? Of course! He is the biggest trad cuck. He is a huge neocon. He is a Bushite reincarnate with a little goofy hat. Like, let's just stop it. But yes, hold on to your horses. We are days away, Charleston, South Carolina, where she used to be governor. Can you believe it? On February 15th. Oh boy, that will be attended by, dozens and dozens of wealthy donors. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley is expected to announce she's running for president. For what? On February 15th in Charleston, according to a person familiar with her plans, Haley would be the first Republican to jump into the 2024 presidential race this year, facing only former President Donald Trump, and Mike Pence has indicated it, and oh boy, what a stacked ballot. And I know that there's enough astroturfed fervor around Ron DeSantis that's out there who, I like Ron, but I like Ron over there for the time being. Spokesperson for Haley did not immediately provide details about the plans, but it's funny. It's funny how unbiased the coverage of Nikki Haley is on places like CNN. Okay, Haley gave her clearest indication ever since she left the governor's office for the United Nations, where she was the representative of Trump. But we don't need to go ahead. No, we don't need to tell you about that. She was just there at the United Nations representing globalism, and he was far away from the orange man. He's bad, but Nikki Haley's great. Haley, who served as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations in the Trump administration, get to that right at the bottom, also called Trump recently to tell him she was considering launching her campaign. And I'd imagine Trump probably did his best Johnny Carson impression, treated her just like Joan Rivers, and hung up that phone. Toot sweet. But okay, she's the first one who's going to be throwing her hat in the ring in a formal sense. So what's her platform going to be? Okay, she's going to be the more toned back Trump. Oh, she's just going to be an extent. She worked under the Trump administration. Okay, she's going to be, the exact same policies of Trump without all of that nefarious bloviation. It's just going to be more palatable, because when you're trying to appeal to the moderates that are out there, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Well, straight from her own account, Biden must give Ukraine what they're asking for, planes. All the way back on, what was that? March 28th, 2022. Oh no, she's just a neocon warmonger. Oh, jeez. And then she gets a fluff piece from The Hill as well. 5 things you need to know about Nikki Haley as she prepares for the 2024 race. Well, what do we need to know? She's a 2-term governor for South Carolina. That's adorable. Beating out former state senator Vincent Sheeran in 2010. During her first gubernatorial bid, Haley lagged behind several other major GOP gubernatorial candidates ahead of her in the 2010 primary, which included then Lieutenant Governor Andre Bauer, then Attorney General Henry McMaster, and then Representative Gresham Barrett. Just a murderer's row of candidates. Haley often spotlights her background as a child of Indian immigrants. Wow, that's what we need out there. Not a measured take or anything like that. Not a deviation from Trump's bloviating tactics. No. We need somebody to bring identity politics over to the right. That's what we need out there. Of course, that's exactly why she's the spirit animal. What was that once again there, little Benny boy? What was that? She was the spirit animal for you?
Excited to get to our guest today.
My
spirit animal.
My
U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley.
I can't believe
we'll start that interview in just
That's all right, Ben. We'll play it one more time, my guy. I don't
today.
care.
My spirit animal, former U.S. Ambassador.
Spirit animal. Oh, you love to see it, you little fruit. She served as U.S. ambassador to the UN under Trump. Oh my God, a brush with darkness, I'm sure. She had a falling out with the former president. Yeah, but see, she's still good though, guys. Just look at this, okay? I've done a video specifically on Nikki Haley well back when she first indicated that I might have to step up and fill that gap that's out there because there's all of that big money that's going to be out there, okay? She is 100% Kamala Harris for the right. She is the deep state darling on this one. She has all the connections that are out there. She will draw a lot of money. She will raise a lot of money for the RNC coffers, and you know that Ron the Hut out there just loves to fundraise, so it's going to be interesting, and she's going to hang in for as long as possible, and she's going to get all of those old school mega donor dollars that'll just eventually flip to whoever the candidate is, because just like there's people who vote blue no matter who for whoever's on the right, whoever the GOP puts out there, they're going to vote for them regardless. What's the breakdown? What is it? 45% of people just specifically vote exclusively Democrat. 43% of people, I might be getting the percentages, but I know it's just a little bit underneath for Republicans, will vote red no matter what, and then it's just the mushy gushy disgusting middle that people have to worry about. But Nikki Haley's a better face because she's not Orange Man bad, she's just Indian lady good. In the wake of the January 6th Capitol riot, where a mob of pro-Trump supporters and Antifa and Capitol Police were just kind of moving, ropes out of the way. Anyways, trying to stop Congress from certifying the 2020 presidential elections. Haley criticized the former president for his words that day. Oh my, he was wrong with his words in Charlottesville. Which ones? The ones where he said that he condemned white supremacy and he condemned violent actions? Oh, okay. Those words, wow, bigot. And I told him so at the time. He was badly wrong in his words yesterday. And it wasn't just his words, his actions since election day will be judged harshly by history. If I just took that statement and I didn't tell you who said that, would you have an indication that that was given by somebody on the right or somebody on the left? I'm just telling you, it is totally indistinguishable from anything that would come from the lips. Well, no, there would be a noticeable lisp and a 2-drink minimum if it was Pelosi, but Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, Chuck Schumer, legitimately, it could be any one of those people. But no. This is the lady who's going to stand up for conservatism. She's going to bring dignity back to the Republican Party. Yes, losing with dignity. Yo, it's going to be hilarious because Trump has zero chill going into 2024, and he's actually putting out a platform. Don't know what Nikki Haley's is going to be, but it sounds a lot like Ukraine first. Trump claims that he could negotiate an end to the Ukraine war. Oh, that's why Nikki Haley's throwing her hat into the ring in this point in time. She wants to keep that going because, good old neocons love themselves a forever war for the military-industrial complex. Trump claims he could negotiate an end to the war in Ukraine within 24 hours in a new policy video, and slams Biden for risking nuclear war by sending tanks. No, but Nikki Haley wants to send more tanks over there. She's a good conservative. Oh, good for her. Former President Donald Trump's claims in a new video policy. And if you're subscribed to the dude on Rumble, holy, is your feed getting inundated with little Trump clips. It's almost getting annoying at this point in time, but he has a policy point for literally everything, and most of it looks, pretty good. It's populist talking points, which is definitely a good sign for his 2024 campaign. I can't front. As he takes aim again at President Joe Biden for weakness, of his knees, his policy, of his back, of his brain. Just you need to point specifically to the weakness. He's 80, folks. He's 80. With the war fast approaching its first anniversary, hopefully they send a cake. Zelensky just hopes that instead of actual cake, it's just more money because he's greedy. With a clear message to Vladimir Putin that any incursion into Ukraine territory would be unacceptable. Yeah. Oh, that's what the West failed to do. Yeah, they failed to send a clear message. We'll defend NATO territory, I think. But it would have been the best policy going forward. And if I see anybody, tout this, I will be listening to them, even though I don't think anybody's going to be brave enough to say this. Yeah, this is one of those conflicts that the United States had zero interest in getting into. This is a regional conflict that should be dealt with over there. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. But Trump thinks that he can broker a peace deal? Bet. Somebody better be bringing these folks to the peace table talks, because Zelensky's grift is awfully good, and Putin's just waiting for an opportunity to reign over a country of glass. So if we can go ahead and calm tempers at this point in time, that would be great, because I don't want to go into 2024 looking and waiting for a mushroom cloud to appear over on the horizon. I would appreciate that. You'd appreciate that as well. You know what? Hey, Trump, if you're going to be trying to aim your ire anywhere, you need to rekindle some of that magic that you had in 2016. And that, once again, with all of the policy points that I see pointing up, that's what we're getting this time around. Because, I love to see this. I do love to see this. Trump calls Ron DeSantis a rhino globalist who loved vaccine. He loved vaccines and wasting money on testing in an escalation of attacks on 2024 war. Yeah, that's where Trump is coming up lacking with his base right now. Well, he'd never mandate masks, never mandate vaccines. He still has some sort of a love for the vaccine, I guess, in some form or fashion. It's like, wow, now with everything that's coming up, that's an interesting tactic. It's not very popular with the people that would normally support you. But yes, you're going to have some of those soft cucks that are out there. Oh, you never attack another Republican. What made Trump successful and popular in 2016? Little Marco with his little tiny hands. He's a tiny guy. Lion Ted. We're everybody's favorite. Low energy Jeb. I mean, come on. They're still iconic. Nigh on a decade later. Ron DeSanctimonious. It's growing on me. It was a little wordy to begin with, but no. It totally makes sense. And yeah, Ron would be the biggest threat, but it would be political suicide, because he'd end up just looking like a second-rate Trump. That's what would end up happening if he was to run up against them, because Ron DeSantis is very good at being Ron DeSantis. But when he tries to put on a Trump impression, he fails immeasurably. He doesn't have the charisma of Trump. And when it comes to primaries, when it comes to those debates, I don't know if everybody's forgot. Maybe I got to do a series of running back those old debates. Trump controlled that stage. He went from being on the outside of the podiums all the way to the middle in a very short period of time. He made presidential debates must-see television. Ron DeSantis can't fill out a parking lot. I like Ron. Don't get it twisted. But Trump is being Trump right now. That's all there is to this. Because you remember, he worked with Marco Rubio. Hell, he just endorsed him. For Senate in Florida. And he won tremendously. Nobody wants to talk about that now, do they? No. He just got that Ron bump in Florida. But then you take a look at some of the other stronger endorsements from Ron DeSantis, and oh boy, does that fall flat on its face. But no. Yeah, it's just Trump's not a kingmaker anymore. It's almost like the media is trying to prop up anybody other than Trump because they know who the real threat to the establishment is. Wow! And especially if he's going to be going on the offensive like he did in 2016, when, last time I checked, he won the 2016 election, as much as the left would like to say that he stole that one and with help from Russia. Interesting. Now that Donald Trump has opened the floodgates against a potential 2024 GOP challenger, Ron DeSantis, he is going all in, calling the wildly popular Florida governor. It's funny how mass media wants to paint the opposition to Trump always in the most glowing of light. Meanwhile, if this was Ron DeSantis dunking on anybody else, it would be, far right-wing Trump supporting, Ron DeSantis. Oh, okay, cool. Everything is all, what would Trump do? Okay, the media walks around with a WWTD wristband, and that's their mental point of origin. Trump. He lives rent-free. Everybody knew him. Everybody knew him growing up as a real estate mogul. They just didn't realize how much real estate he actually had in between all of mass media's ears. In true Trump form. That's the first thing that I've seen that is actually accurate, but they're trying to use it as a denigration. Like, come on now. The ex-president came up with a nickname, Ron DeSanctimonious, just weeks before announcing his White House bid in November. He's like, Ron, stay over there. You don't want any of this smoke, kid. I'll be smoking on that Ron pack for longer than you're going to be around, kid. Over the weekend, Trump made a one-day, two-state swing to early primary contests in New Hampshire and South Carolina. On the flight between the two East Coast states, Trump told reporters on his plane that they'd be very disloyal if DeSantis ran against him in the 2024 GOP primary. Yeah, exactly. Listen, we need a united front. You come in, okay, Trump Jr., not Don Jr., but Trump Jr. out there in Florida. He wants to join the race at this point in time. All you're going to do is just muddy the waters and sully your ability to take up the mantle when Trump can't run again in 2028. It's like it's tailor-made, bro. But I got to give big ups to DeSantis, because all of this media hailstorm is just that. It's just the media over there kicking up dust, just being like, oh, see, where there's smoke, there's fire. It's like, no, there's just dust on the floor, and you're just trying to kick it up in order to elicit some sort of response, because DeSantis hasn't made any indication. He's made some questionable hirings lately, but he hasn't launched any paperwork to run for 2024, and it'll be awfully late in the game right now if he were to launch anything. But by the time that I'm recording this and by the time there releases, things could change, and I'd obviously covered at the time. It's just, he knows he's the guy who's next in line. Will he be the VP pick? Don't know. The short list is to be somewhat believed that he wants to go with a woman. Yuck. Just based on the candidates that he has over there. Hear Carrie Lake every once in a while, and it's like, well, if she's going to be running up against Kyrsten Sinema, I think that she'd be better suited in the Senate, because I like Carrie Lake quite a bit. I can't be any more clear about that. She would be doing much better work in the Senate in a long-term capacity, because she's a fairly young lady. And if she wants to be there for a long time to help weed out some of that old blood that's in there, fantastic. And then the other name that's kind of thrown around as a VP pick, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, it's like Trump doesn't really need any help fundraising, and that's about all she's good for. I don't really know if you want that one, but okay. If Trump really wants to turn over this apple cart, he just goes with DeSantis as VP pick, and it just is all guns blazing in 2024. But that's what we know for right now. Trump's just going to be Trump. DeSantis continue to do a great job in Florida. Wait for your time to come, because it's just going to be that hot handoff, and let the media talk their shit. Because I'm sure these guys have communications, behind the scenes that nobody's privy to, and they're probably just laughing at this point in time. Like, let's just stop it. Let's stop speculating. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.